John, your story is different. You didn't get to travel around that much. Tell us about how your mother decided to come to Claremore and your childhood and so forth. And especially tell us about what she did as far as living arrangements.
Well, my father got killed in a hunting accident, and I never did know my dad when I was 19 months old. And mother had 2 lots up here. An aunt had given her 2 lots, and she bought a house, or actually it was a hay barn up in Radium Down. A lot of people probably don't know what I'm talking about when I say Radium Down, but anyway, and she moved that old house down there, and we moved to Claremore when I was 4 years old.
4.
And I was here. In fact, back then, my mother was looking for a job, and I started school when I was 5 years old. Now you've got to be 6 and got to have your birthday. Got to be after September 1, I think it is. And anyway, a board member of the Claremore School Board, his name was Reed Parker. He owned the Parker Barnhart Funeral Home. That's where Jim Smith Musgrove married is today.
Okay.
And he told my mother, said, go enroll him in school. And they enrolled me when I was 5 years old. So I went all the way through the Claremore school system and graduated Claremore High School.
What year was this?
I graduated in 1950.
Who were some of your classmates that may still be around in Claremore today?
Joe Patterson, James Farley. I graduated with James Farley. He had perfect attendance from grade, he didn't have kindergarten then, but James had perfect attendance from grades 1 through 12. And of course, Danny Russa, he's deceased. He's the brother of the famed astronaut. He was a Montgomery Ward manager. My mother worked at Montgomery Ward's for years with his mother, and I'm trying to think of some of the people that I went to school with that are still in Claremore. Frank Robinson was a senior when I was a freshman.
Now, who was your football coach?
Tuffy Klein
Tuffy
coached us through my 4 years of football,
okay.
And he was quite a guy. He had great teams at OMA, had a big undefeated run up there, and they fell on hard times, and he took the high school job down at Claremore. Ted Klein, his boy, was a quarterback. He's a retired veterinarian over in Arkansas now. Very smart person. But Frank Robinson was a senior when I was a freshman, and I wasn't probably good enough to play, but I did play as a freshman because he didn't have anybody to center the ball, and I could make that long snap, and we got caught up. Claremore didn't have any veterans coming back after World War II, and everybody had veterans playing football except us, and we had some rough years. 4 years of football, and my experience in high school. First 2 years we won. We was 2-8 and 2-8, and the last 2 years we were 5-5 and 5-5. So I can't brag too much about our record in football, but I played football, basketball, and baseball.
Okay, what position in baseball did you play?
I played first base in baseball. Pitched a little bit because we didn't have many pitchers.
Yeah.
But
And you played out at Legion Field?
Pardon?
You played at Legion Field?
Legion Field was an old rodeo ground, and they had old wood bleachers over there that they finally tore out. But and the one end of it was a rodeo field and had board fence around it, and that's where I started out playing baseball.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They had spring football, and Coach Mobra will remember this. When I was a freshman, they did away with spring football and made athletes in Oklahoma high schools had to start playing run track and baseball. And they did away with spring football. They've kind of brought that back now, but for years, spring football was what they had. They had no spring athletics at all. And anyway, we were all glad to get out of that spring football because it was work and you didn't play anybody or anything like
Right.
that. So that way
Just
I started baseball in the 9th grade. We didn't have any pee-wee programs or anything like they've got now.
Frank, you started to ask John something, I believe.
Pardon me?
Did you not start to ask John something a while ago?
Didn't you play with J.B. Haney at NEO in baseball?
Played with J.B. Haney at NEO, yeah.
Yeah.
At NEO. I can remember Coach, he's playing over at Soldiers Field for NEO, and they played OMA. And NEO won the game. It was a good game. But they let us come to the game